So this is EOD end of day analysis for the pound, not the pound, the Australian dollar against Japanese yen. So I have released an AUD trade of the AUD yen to go short. I did mention that I was cautious of going short the Australian dollar Japanese yen, as we did sell off quite a bit, and yeah, I was right to be cautious. Now prices have come back up since we've gone short, and if I was long, I would have been stopped out for a potential 60-point loss. Now this system I'm using, I'm pretty much just following the signals based on where momentum has taken it. Momentum has taken prices. So at the expense of closing the previous trade for a loss, I do have a signal that's come into the market to go long. Now, if I do go into the market long, let's just see the levels. Let's just see. So I'll be going long at 864, with a potential stop down to 8. Let's just say it's 832 on this chart, but let's just say 830. Actually, I should mention the names properly. So I'll be getting into charts at 88.64, and my stop would be at 88.30 on the Australian dollar Japanese yen. That's pretty much the parameters of this trading system. Now, I suppose that's probably too close a stop, considering if you have a look at this chart, you do see we do have sizable wicks to the downside and to the upside of the Australian dollar Japanese yen, but the system doesn't allow it. So I suppose I could make an adjustment if I consistently see patterns whereby which wicks are not taken into account. Now if I go, let's because I was cautious to take the short initially, so let's have a look at the monthly time frame. Let's just see where we are. Let's see what's happening now. On the monthly time frame, as you can see, over here we did have a signal, and this was all the way in June to go long, and my short trade was in contradiction to this. As you can see on the monthly time frame, we've had lows here in June. Hold on. Oh, this was 2016. Wow. Oh, it's monthly chart, so don't be surprised. So we've had a push down, and we've had lows. And we did post higher lows here this year in around this May June region here. We did post a higher low, which is bullish. We did go into this what appeared to be developing to be a bit of a bull flag, and yeah, we're trading. We do appear to be trading out of it. We do appear to be trading out of it and to the upside now. Over the long term, if I am not stopped out, or if price allows it, it would be natural to target. It just seems like the most obvious level, the 100 mark on the Australian dollar against the Japanese yen. It's just so obvious a level to take. Obviously, we are into an area where we have sold off previously in and around the 89 level. So if we look over here, that was in 2010, and that was in 2011, and also in 2012. So 2010, 11, and 12, in and around that 89 mark, we did have some sell off. It did provide a potential support in 2014, but I do expect prices to continue to the upside, and potentially getting up to the 100 mark. So that would have that's a reason why would have been more confident to take it long. So on this week's chart, again, similar story. You've had your low over here. We've had a higher low. Also, you could see there was like a double bottom. And we've also had a bit of a pullback and a further continuation from this bull flag. Currently into this 200 period moving average, we've sold off a little bit, and then we appear to be forming a base on the other side for a potential springboard upwards on the weekly time frame. So my overall view was biased to the long side, and now I've been given the signal to go long. So overall, AUD yen long on the based on EOD analysis and the signal on the daily time frame for my EOD trading system. So that should wrap it up. Like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Now, I am also going to do, you know what, I'm not going to do a new video for the pound against the Australian dollar. Instead, I'm just going to keep it on this same video. Let's just do that. So there's a pound odd. I did receive an email suggesting a potential signal. Now, what's the problem I've got here? Well, we do appear to have put in a double top in and around the 171 level. And we have broken down. But it's going to be a similar case to the Australian dollar against Japanese yen going short. We do appear to be a bit extended to the downside. We are coming into this 20 period moving average. Well, we're at this 20 period moving average here on the daily time frame. So let's just imagine we're going to do what exactly as it says. So I'll be looking at taking a short. Okay, we're looking at taking a short at 68.29. So 68.30 with a stop at 68.30 and a stop at 69.24. So that's a 794. Yeah, about 94 pip stop, right? 94 pip stop on the pound against the Australian dollar. 94 pips is not, even though it may sound large number, it's pretty small, pretty tame on the pound against the Australian dollar. That's where the stop would be. But it being so tame and the ATRs being so large, like for example, let's just have a look where the ATR is. ATR is 102. My gosh, what the hell's happened there? Wow, sorry, I don't mean to sound surprised, but normally the ATRs are just nearer 200. Like wow, volatility is really falling off here. Yep. So it's currently at 128. Wow, that is surprising actually. That really is surprising. You know what? Just bear with me a second. I'm just gonna have a look at the pound against US dollar. Just see where the ATRs are. So this one's saying it's at 128. Okay, let's have a quick cheeky look at a pound against the US dollar. I'm just gonna have a little quick cheeky look. Let's just see where the ATRs are here. The ATRs. Let's have a look at that candle there. 108. So yeah, it's somewhat surprising, but we have been in a consolidative range on the pound against Australian dollar before we've had this recent breakout to the upside. So we did have the breakout, and the breakout triggering candle was on the 8th of September. As you can see, we've had a strong move to the upside. Now, I've mentioned where my stop would be on this pound Australian dollar. Again, I have mentioned the reason I'll be cautious, because it was similar to the Australian dollar Japanese yen short. The Australian dollar Japanese yen short on EOD analysis, which has subsequently become a loss. And the reason that happened was I did take a similar trade to the short side, despite the higher time frames supporting bullish momentum. But let's just have a look at the higher time frames on the pound against Australian dollar to see if the similarities are somewhat limited. Now, let's have a look. So, this is less bullish than what the Australian dollar Japanese yen looked. So what's happened? We've had lows over here at 2013. I suppose it's similar to the Australian dollar Japanese yen. It shouldn't be too relevant. What has happened here is we've found a base at around 160. So between 158 and 160. we have formed a base, because every time prices come down there, it was immediately bought back up. So it suggests that it is a potential bouncing spot for a move all the way. This is on the monthly time frame, bear in mind, up to 180. Currently we're trading at 168.47, so near enough, just over 1,000 pips, which, based on this pair's volatility, shouldn't be that difficult to do, to be honest. So on the on this monthly time frame, we do appear to have formed a base at around the 160 mark. Let's go out to the weekly. Let's just see where we are, because we're in obviously the first week of the month. On the weekly, wow. On the weekly, we have sold off from this larger moving average here, which has acted as resistance on a couple of occasions now. It has acted as resistance, even though sometimes it doesn't hold perfectly, like this example here around May and around July. But this moving average is appearing to provide some resistance. So there is a, let's just see, yeah, in around that 160 mark. So we do have the base forming for a bullish move, but our signal is to the short side. So if I'm taking this short, I would be looking at the potential base as my stop. So I said 160. Yep, so 160 was what I was looking at on the higher time frame charts. But here on the daily charts, I'm going to be very interested to see what happens to price as we come down to, say, for example, this moving average here. So, and that's at 166.57. You could say essentially 200 pips away. Just see where we are in relation to it, see how we respond to the 200 period moving average. We've also got a 50 period moving average down at 65.52, which is a further 100 points beneath. A break of these moving averages should see prices go all the way down to test the 162 level from where it is currently, a good 600 pips. So I've outlined my potential downside targets, being the 200 period moving average, and the 200 period moving average currently sitting at let's get this right, 166.57, beneath which we're looking at the other moving average, being the 50 period moving average, and that's at 165.52. And if we break down even further, then these potential supports which are gathered beneath price, I'll be looking at another area. I'll be looking at 162 as another area of interest. So that's my analysis on the signal to go short pound Australian dollar. I've highlighted reasons to be bullish. I've highlighted potential downside targets. I've identified where my stop would be placed. So that should wrap it up for my pound Australian dollar EOD end of day trading analysis. So before I go, LCS, like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching.